The Dental Download Podcast is your source for insight into dental school, conversations with dentists, specialists, and leaders in the industry. With new episodes every Monday morning, I'm your host, Haley Schultz. Let's get into this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another episode. So this episode is one that, I know I would love to listen to. I hope it's fun for at least a handful of my podcast audience, and it's going to be a little recap of my break and the first couple weeks of fall semester, but the theme of the episode is fall favorites. So we're going to talk about all my favorite things for the fall, just to kind of get you guys excited. Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily and then distribute it everywhere and even earn money, all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right away from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify, but also everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available, and you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. Did I mention it is totally free? No catch. I've been using Spotify for Podcasters since the very beginning of my show, and now we're nearing our 200th episode. So I can definitely say it's an easy platform, and I've really loved using it. So be sure to download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Okay, I'm actually in such good spirits when I'm recording this, so I'm excited to chat with you guys. I know I do solo episodes every other week, but it feels like it's been a minute. I don't know why. Maybe just because I started a new semester, so it feels like a lot has happened. I'm trying to look at the last time I did a solo episode. It was like my summer recaps. Okay, that's probably why, because I did the semester recap, but I hadn't talked at all about the first 2 weeks of school yet. So we had 5 days of classes, August 29th through September 2nd, and then it was Labor Day. So we had that Monday off. I took the Friday at the start of Labor Day weekend off as well, and I went to visit my sister in Madison, Wisconsin. She lives there with her boyfriend, who's in emergency medicine residency, so that's kind of why they're in Madison. TBD if they stay there, but that's honestly, just as a side note, as a personal thing, a reason I would maybe consider looking at dental practices in Wisconsin if they end up staying in Wisconsin, because it's really important to me to be near some family. But my boyfriend also has family in various different states as well as Michigan too. So I just want to be near some family. That's kind of a side tangent, but I think helpful for you guys to get to know me more, because this is obviously more of just like a personal episode. It's things I love and recommend to get you guys to enjoy every minute of fall that you can when you have a break from school and studying. And maybe if you live somewhere that doesn't have a true fall, this can just be kind of cozy and interesting to you for what we do up here in the Midwest when we have our awesome season changes. Fall is my favorite time of year, so I'm excited. But that'll be the ending segment of this episode. We're going to finish with the recap. So the first week back was pretty chill. I was fortunate that 3 of my patients showed up, unless my schedule isn't accurate, but I think it is. I had 3 patients and did 2 assists, and also had some meetings for our different student organizations. I could only do 1 workout class, which was a bummer to me. And I also had 2 ortho rotations. So the week went by really fast, and then I went to Madison and had an absolutely amazing time. And then we're back to the week that just happened. So I'm recording this on Sunday right before it goes up. But we had my second week of clinic in the fall semester, and there's some changes that they made to clinic now that the school's renovation project that I think took 6 years. That's how long they planned it to take too. So I don't think it took too much longer. It's supposed to be done summer 2022 and it was done fall 2022. So not terrible. But the changes is that all of our clinics are up and running now because all the renovations are done. And now I'm set in my specific clinic. That's the only place I'll see patients until I graduate, versus before 2 clinics were all crammed into 1 clinic. Now we have split in half and there's more space. So I feel like when I'm seeing patients, I look around and I'm like, it's not that busy in here, which is nice, but we're still like understaffed. For example, I was doing my second filling ever. I think I mentioned that I did my first filling ever last semester in July. I brought the same patient back because he needed one more filling, and I did that, and that was my second filling ever. And the one faculty was working with 16 students. They were the only restorative faculty. Usually there's like 6 students per faculty, sometimes 7, and even that seems like a problem, but 16 people for the one faculty. So if you wanted to test case, you couldn't because there's not 2 restorative faculty, and I waited 40 minutes between each step check of my procedure. Like me getting my start check, I was one of the first people, so that was awesome. Got started, numbed the patient, drilled out the caries, got it checked, 40 minutes waiting to get it checked. Filled it, 40 minutes waiting to get that checked. But thankfully, like, I was all ready to go. They liked everything. All was good. But they wanted me to like adjust something on the prep. So that meant another 20 minutes in between the prep and then getting to fill it. And then at the end, I was able to get everything checked out. But that's just like an example, even though we have less crowding in the clinics and it's not too bad to get people scheduled, they're still understaffed and the appointments take longer than they should. I didn't have a problem like getting everything done in the time that we're allotted because the appointment times are super long now. That's the other like update about our clinics. Now we're doing clinic 9 to noon and 1 to 5, Monday through Friday. Except on Thursdays, we have an evening session from 5 to 7. So if you have the 1 o'clock, you have to finish by like 4:15, I think, so that there's time for the faculty to get a break and, you know, reset everything for the people that need to set up for the next appointment to have their time. So they're really long appointments. They're 3 hours and 4 hours, which before we had like 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and 3 hours. So much longer. So you can get more done if you have a patient that needs a lot. But like, who wants to sit in a dental chair for 4 hours? Like, not me. There's a reason that I haven't been a patient at the school yet, is because I like going to my dentist back home, having my hygiene appointment be 30 minutes. At the school, it would be at least an hour. And again, it's not because they're working on you for 4 hours. It's because you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. That's just how dental school is, though, and you have to kind of accept that and know that. But I think it's something worth talking about if you're not aware of how most dental schools work. And it's not a problem specifically just with my school. I know it's a problem across the whole country that a lot of schools are facing staffing shortages for clinical faculty. So if you're a dentist and you have any ounce of time on your hands or just a willingness to give back, consider being adjunct faculty at a school near you if that's possible. I've heard mixed reviews of if it's actually a good experience or not, but just know that the students need you and we really appreciate all of our clinical faculty. So that was a brief recap of this week, but I was supposed to see 4 patients. I only ended up seeing 2 patients because 2 patients no-showed or canceled. And then I had first lunch and learn of the semester that was really fun, some more board meetings. September is wellness month for ASDA, like nationally. So we have a lot of different events going on at our chapter and our district and nationally that have been fun. Like we had a Zoom yoga, we have some lunch and learns and other opportunities coming up in the next couple weeks that I'm looking forward to. And just lots of like planning for the conferences, for fall events. Fall is just so busy with ASDA because it is wellness month, because it's the month that all the new members join. We're doing our fever week in September. We have all the tailgates. There's a home football game for Michigan every single Saturday of September. So there's a lot of tailgates, a lot of events. All the companies want to get in and talk to us. So they're all like having socials and lunch and learns. Like it's just a very, very busy time, but it's fun. I love being busy. Gotta love like the free meals. It's nice when you don't have to buy as many groceries. Like I was thinking, oh, I should grocery shop and prep some food for this week, but I didn't really have to because this coming week I have lunch 2 days and then dinner 2 nights, and then I'm going home Thursday night because I don't have anything on Friday, I'm pretty sure. Then I'll come back on Friday for the tailgate Saturday morning. It's the one bummer. Most of these games so far that we've had tailgates for have been noon games, so we're starting the tailgates at 9 a.m., which means our crew that has to set up gets there at like 8:15. So it's an early process for all the shenanigans of tailgating, but it's been a lot of fun. I really don't have any complaints. It's been awesome being so busy and just like having all these events. It's like everything I was hoping dental school would be is finally like the life that I'm living. And I think I said this about a year ago. Like all of second year was like that too. Like second year fall and winter and D3 summer and now D3 fall have all been just awesome. And I think it's because more of that like extracurricular and experiences that enhance dental school are part of my experience now. Plus third year is just elevated because I'm seeing patients, and I absolutely love seeing patients. It can get frustrating. I've talked about this on Instagram, and I'm realizing that I'm talking fast. So I'm going to try to slow down a little, but you guys are probably used to it. This is just me chatting with you all. But I've talked about it on Instagram that it can be really frustrating dealing with the technicalities of dental school and of clinic and the requirements that you need and all those sorts of things. And that can get frustrating and be really distracting if you let it. It can really affect your mood. It can affect the way you treatment plan. It can affect the way you interact with faculty, with your classmates. If you let all the little nuances of dental school clinic get to you. But I try my best not to. And it might be frustrating certain days when just like credits for appointments don't make sense and don't seem fair, or patients cancel, all this and that. But I try to bring my perspective back and focus on, I love treating patients. I've had some more unique, obscure patients. I've had some patients that I feel like we could be best friends. We're super similar. I've had some patients that remind me of like elderly family members or my parents or my siblings and my friends, like I said. So I've had a whole range of people that I've gotten to interact with already in just like a semester and a couple weeks. But at the end of the day, all of them, I love treating patients. It's so fun. It's challenging in just the right way. It's great to have the guidance of faculty. I might complain about faculty too, just like the logistics of it all, but the faculty themselves are amazing when you do get your time with them. And I just love being in clinic. I love treating patients. I know dentistry is the right career for me. So it's hard to separate dental school and dentistry, but I think that's something really important to focus on if you are a dental student like me, or if you're going to be, that so many things are out of your control when it comes to all those credits and how many faculty are available and patients canceling, all this. Like, I do my very best, and that's all that I can do, and I have to be okay with that. I'm being proactive. I'm trying to get more patients. I'm trying to get people scheduled. I'm calling people. I'm trying to set things up. I'm trying to learn about different procedures. I'm trying to prepare in advance. I'm trying. And the fact that I'm trying has to give me some kind of peace of mind. And hopefully you all could feel the same way if you reflect on your situations, and that might give you a little ease if you're feeling stressed with all the technicalities that come with dental school. So that's everything I think for the little recap, and then we will get into the fall favorites, the theme of this week's episode. All right, happy fall. I know there's actually a couple more weeks of summer left technically, but mentally it's fall semester. I see like 1% of the trees in Michigan starting to change. Starbucks and Dunkin' have brought out their fall flavors. Trader Joe's has the fall stuff. Like, fall is happening whether the calendar says so or not. So we're going to be talking about my fall favorites. So I have it divided up into like foods and coffee things, just to add some extra seasonal fun to your normal routine, and then activities, shows / things to watch, and then dental school things. So first we'll start off with the foods and coffee. So right now in my fridge, I have Silk Pumpkin Creamer, and that has been delicious. So it's almond milk based. I know there's, soy and oat brands for pumpkin as well, and I'm sure they're all delicious. That's just what I have right now, and I can tell you that it's good. I'm sure a lot of other brands are good too, but I recommend some kind of pumpkin creamer. You can put it in a cup and froth it up, and then you've got your own faux cold foam. Like I see recipes on TikTok and stuff of like how to make pumpkin cold foam at home, but like you're literally using canned pumpkin and pumpkin sauce and all these ingredients. Like no one's gonna do that on a daily basis. Like maybe once the whole season you would go through a whole recipe just to make the topping for your coffee. But this is like a very simple way to still give yourself that fun fall flavor. And that would lead into my second thing for coffee is just the pumpkin cream cold brews from Dunkin' and Starbucks. They're so good. If you haven't tried one, give it a try. They're very sweet. If you're not a sweet person, I still love them. But honestly, the Starbucks one, I don't even think is that sweet because it's still just based on pure black cold brew underneath. So I usually try to add almond milk to it, or what I really order is a coffee with oat or almond milk and then just get the cold foam on top. If you're a chai person, which I'm not, but I've heard that the pumpkin sauce or pumpkin cold foam is really good on top of chais as well. And then for Dunkin', like Dunkin' coffee is just sweet in general, so you don't really need to do anything to change that one. And then for food and snacks, pumpkin everything, basically. You can look up recipes for pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, pumpkin chocolate chip loaf, pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Those are all fun treats. You can also make like pumpkin pancakes, and a little bit healthier alternative is like banana pancakes, like banana protein pancakes, if you've ever seen those, but using like a pumpkin flavoring in there too to add a little spin on them, I think would be delicious. And then of course cider mill donuts, apple cider donuts, depending where you're from. I think it's just a Michigan thing, or at least a Midwest thing. Cider mills themselves, it's basically like an apple orchard, but it has a barn that's called the cider mill, and that's where they make the cider from the apples, so that's why it's called that. But like all across Michigan we have cider mills. I don't know if that's a thing where you're from. You'll have to let me know on Instagram or something. And that leads into the activities. So first, of course, visiting apple orchards, cider mills, pumpkin patch. So for us, if I say like a cider mill that has the little barn where you can buy all the seasonal goodies, some places you can see them make the cider, see them make the donuts, but that's like there. And there's usually an apple orchard, there's usually a pumpkin patch, there's usually like a hay ride, sometimes there's games. Like these are fun places, and we're very fortunate. Like from Ann Arbor, I could probably get to like 6 or 7 within a 45-minute drive, but they're all in different towns in different directions. But it's a very popular thing here. They're basically like farms. Like the one in my hometown has all that stuff I just described, but throughout the year when the cider mill isn't open during the not fall time, they have like they're growing their seasonal vegetables, and you can drive through and pick those up. So they're family farms a lot of the times, or orchards, but they're a great time. And if you live somewhere that has these activities, I recommend checking them out, especially if you're from out of state and it's new to you. It's really fun, and it's a good way to get outside and enjoy some good treats as well. And it's fun to carve pumpkins. You got to put on Hocus Pocus and carve pumpkins in October, though, not September, because September I think is too early. And if you've never carved a pumpkin before, again, if you're maybe from out of state or something and you just don't do that, if you put them outside, they will get eaten by like squirrels and chipmunks. So you don't want to do it too early. If you want it to be there for Halloween, you want to like do it like day or two before. That's a little pro tip if you don't know about carving pumpkins. And speaking of Hocus Pocus, there's a new Hocus Pocus coming out on Disney Plus that you all can check out at the end of September. I don't have a Disney Plus subscription anymore, but I will have to find someone that does to share their password with me so that I can watch the new Hocus Pocus when it comes out at the end of the month. So this is stuff that anyone can do for the rest of the activities. That's not so niche to like Midwest, I think. And that's just going for walks in places that feel very cozy. So that could be a park if the leaves have changed. You can do a little picnic or something. Just kind of sit on a bench, soak it all in. Or I really like to do walks down like downtowns, but like, you know, the more old school downtowns that aren't like skyscrapers, like they're more cutesy small town vibes. Those are so nice in the fall and very just cozy. You can go to like a local coffee shop. If you like reading, you could hang out and read. I don't really read, but maybe listen to a podcast or something. And another thing that's really fun in the fall and sometimes more affordable is like a little weekend road trip. If you go somewhere with a scenic drive, like even if it's a little longer, you can take the scenic route instead of like the main expressway. And a lot of times it's cheaper to travel in the fall compared to like summer or like spring break time, depending where you're going. You could just do a little weekend getaway to maybe like a small town in the area that you're from. I know a lot of times like state capitals aren't always big towns. They're more like small, older towns. Like, for example, we went to like Salem, Oregon on our family trip to Portland. So we made a trip out to Salem. And I would say Salem's like a pretty sleepy, cute town. So like if you're in Portland, maybe do a road trip out to Salem and hang out there for the day or get an Airbnb for a night or something. And then the last thing that I personally love is decorating our house for fall. I think is so fun. I have set like fall decorations that I just put up, and then I also have Halloween stuff that I'll wait until October to put up. But I think it's so fun. Get the fall candles, the little pumpkins, anything that like you find to be cozy and make your space feel welcoming is the way to go. Okay, the last things we can't forget about when it comes to fall favorites are the shows and then also like the dental school things that I love in the fall. So shows / things to watch. Gilmore Girls is my all-time favorite show. Highly recommend you check it out if you've never watched it. It's perfect for fall and winter, super cozy, cute. They're just very witty. You have to kind of like give it a chance to get into the characters. It's not meant to be like realistic. It's meant to be funny and cute and entertaining. And I'm personally watching Big Brother right now, which is like a reality TV show where they kind of compete close-ish to like the concept of Survivor, where someone gets voted out every week, but pretty much everything else is different and it's indoors. And that finale is going to be coming up in September, so I'm excited about that. And then the last thing is football, which is funny for me to say because I'm not that into following sports. I love watching sports live. I think it's fun. If I'm at like a watch party with friends or something, I'm enjoying having a game on, but I'm never going to go out of my way. Like today, I didn't watch any of the NFL games, but I'm in a fantasy league with a group of girls in my class, which is kind of fun. So I do have a little bit more skin in the game now, and I'm actually looking into like who's winning, who different players are, and everything because of that. So there's NFL football, but there's also college football, and Michigan is a huge football school, being in the Big Ten, so that leads to a lot of fun, which is a nice transition into our last topic, the dental school things. So tailgates are a huge part of fall at our dental school, and ASDA hosts them, and they're a great time, and they're a good way for us to bring all the members together. Alumni comes out, people bring friends and family, and we just have a great time celebrating before the games start. And I'm also excited for all the new members joining organizations and getting to join new organizations myself. Personally, I think I'm going to be dropping a few organizations and rejoining a few organizations. For example, I'm going to be dropping the dental fraternity that I'm in and the book club that I'm in through the dental school, just because I haven't been able to attend a lot of the meetings for the book club, even though I liked the idea of it. And then I'm going to be rejoining the Special Care Dentistry Association and then staying in all the other organizations that I'm in. So just a little flip-flop, if you will. But I'll be saving a lot of money by not rejoining the dental fraternity. So that's great. And another thing in the fall that's super exciting is conferences. So we have our District 6 conference the first weekend of November, and then the weekend of November 18th is the ASDA National Leadership Conference in Chicago that hopefully I'll get to see a lot of you at. If you're there, let me know that you're going. That way I can say hi. Maybe we can get a little group photo. It would be a lot of fun. I met a couple podcast listeners last year, but it would be cool if there was a whole group of us. I think that would be really fun. So if you're in ASDA and you're going to NLC, message me a couple days before so I can make sure to be on the lookout for you. And then for other things that are just exciting to me in the fall. It's just the fact that it's a new semester. I love new semesters. Fall semester is always my favorite because fall is my favorite season. And like I said, there's all these fun activities, and just the start of a new semester, I feel motivated. I feel ready to go. And the fact that it's third year and we don't have as many tough classes, we really only have one hard class. It's our diagnostic sciences class again. We've had the same professor, same class before. It's just advancing on and on into getting more complicated. So that's really the only class that's like super challenging. And even then, all of our other classes are just midterms and finals. So nothing too strenuous and a lot of time to enjoy rotations and clinic. And the last couple things are just things that make me happy that happen to go down in the fall. So because of the holidays, with Thanksgiving, with just, I don't know, I think like cider mill, like I said, I try to go with my family before they go back to Florida. It's just like a lot of happy family moments and family opportunities I feel like happen in the fall, whether it's, like I said, watching football, going to the cider mill, Thanksgiving, Halloween, maybe depending on your situation. Just lots of good memories with friends and family. And then the last thing that I probably should have put before is just cozy study vibes. Like nothing better than making your little pumpkin coffee and having your little pumpkin muffin and sitting down at your desk looking out at the colored trees and getting to study a little in a cute environment. Like I feel like I was watching like study with me videos or like coffee shop, this, that on YouTube that just goes for hours, and it's like chill music with a cute background. A lot of times they're like fall coffee shop or like things like that, and you get to live it when it's actually fall, so I love it. And that's really everything for my fall favorites. I hope this was kind of fun to get you in the spirit for fall and inspire you to do something that you usually do, to just jump in and do it, or do something new if you haven't before. Try something new to really make the most of each season of life. I love the seasons. That's one of the reasons I couldn't imagine moving out of Midwest, Northeast area, because I love having all 4 seasons and like true seasons. I think it helps the year progress really well. It correlates really well with the different holidays, and it just brings me a lot of joy as the years go. So that's everything for this week's episode. Next week, we'll be back with a guest. She's another dental student. She is a third-year dental student at Harvard School of Dental Medicine, and her name is Kat. So we will talk all about her dental school experience thus far. With all that being said, I will talk to you next Monday.